Alright. Alrighty. Alrighty. Who's that? Alrighty. Have to check that real quick. Alright. I guess I could stop the video or start it over. But anyway, we're raw here. We give it straight. We don't we're gonna look back on this one day and be like, man, all those crazy videos out there, like all this like eye-catching clickbait, like draws you in, and then you're just like you get lost. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with just opening up the camera, hitting record, and just watching somebody just go at it. You know what I'm saying? And just watching people just speak their mind. I've seen, is it eye-catching? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's not quite, I'm not trying to disguise or put up what is that? Like illusions, trying to create this illusion as to, I'm not who I am. I am somebody else. I don't know. Although, remember I put the video up, a few days ago? Sitting in the backyard, glasses and a hat. That wasn't me. That really wasn't me. Alright, so we're going to move on. This is part 2. This is the MLB Rundown from yesterday's games. I put MLB Rundown from yesterday's games, MLB Rundown from 9/25/2025. Or I think I changed it. I put that instead. So that was part 1. This is part 2. I will say, to go back, the athletics, right? Oh, man, Jesus, I was going to remember this, and now I can't. I was going to say, who did the A's play their last... Let's see. Oh, the Royals. I'll get to the Royals. They play in Sacramento starting tonight, I believe, right? Royals and Athletics tonight. And I'm thinking, if I were you guys, just bet home runs. I feel like, why not? Last game in this last series, with all these home runs going out, these home run hitters are obviously hitting them out. Nick Kurtz has hit a couple yesterday. Man, I put a home run bet on Nick Kurtz tonight. And a couple guys. And I feel like that series can get wild. I feel like that series could get wild. Listen, it's all hell's going to break loose. All right, so Yankees and White Sox. Yesterday, Yankees beat the White Sox 5-3. Yankees did not hit one home run. It's crazy, right? They lead the league in home runs, playing the White Sox. There's one thing about the White Sox that I noticed from them this year. Yeah, they have improved. Yes, they do have a bunch of losses. I think just over 100 losses. But there's something about the White Sox. They're probably not gonna turn the little improvement that they've made this year, or the improvement that they had this year, into next year big. Certainly, I wouldn't think they're gonna be a playoff team. But I feel like they improved in like these aspects of the game, or at least what to me was noticeable is that I saw a lot of starting pitching, especially my boy Sean Smith. I feel like there was a few guys they have pretty good ERAs from some players. I know someone's gonna look at it, or if they do, oh yeah, 6.05 is a good ERA. Oh yeah, 5.82. But if you really look, for a good moment there, a lot of these guys were having decent ERAs in this world of ERA. So, it's always been about ERA, but I feel like they've gotten better at that department. So anyway, the only home run hit yesterday was by Michael A. Taylor, by the way. Michael A. Taylor. He hit his 9th home run of the season, and he's batting 200 on the season. You see, Michael Taylor, great athlete. They always say great athlete. He is a great athlete. He catches a lot of baseballs in center field. The guy is, and he always had glove. The way he has his glove, it just doesn't even close. He looks like he doesn't even close it. It just goes into his glove. And big fucking glove is just, he catches everything though. Look at him play. You see what I'm talking about. Real baseball fans know what I'm talking about. There's the bicycle again. So Michael Taylor he's been in a few teams. I keep backtracking him. He's been with a few teams. He came up with the Nationals, if I'm not mistaken, right? Did he win a World Series with the Nationals? I think he won a World Series with the Nationals. I think. But he's been well-traveled since. His batting average is just... He's never been a batting average guy. His attribute is, at this point, veteran leadership, a guy you can rely on to play great defense. And I guess put together a good at-bat every now and then. But 200 batting average, whatever. Hopefully he still gets to keep working. Uh, Another thing is Carlos Rodon. I say he's probably the most underappreciated Yankee. Has been for a little while now. All right, his first season he was banged up, but these guys are deep into their training, and when you don't get to train, you don't get to. I think he missed spring training or most of it a couple years ago, or a good part of the season. But what I'm saying is, he struggled a bit a couple years ago, and the guy is having a great season this season. 18 wins, 9 losses. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of attention, not a lot of love. Very underappreciated. I mean, 18 wins. That's what, top 3 or 4 in the American League. I mean, that's tied with Max Fried, his teammate, right? At 18. Garrett Crochet has 19, 20, I think 19. So, I mean, and a 3.09 ERA. Give the guy some love. He was the glue that kept it all together over the last couple of seasons. So give that guy some love. Also, Austin Wells. That guy pisses me off. I hate to say it, pisses me off. I mean, him and his mustache, sure, I've grown a mustache before. It doesn't, he wears it pretty well. I mean, he obviously stands out. Not quite the Thurman Munson. He kind of looks like it's kind of like a prop for him, Wells speaking. Munson looks like, I was obviously the 70s, so that was the thing back then. But Wells is just, I guess he's trying to, pay homage to Thurman Munson. But Jesus, man, you're batting what, 212 in the season? Maybe now like 220, okay. But your on base percentage is 277. I'm sorry, you don't do anything. You hit a home run every now and then. You have 70 RBIs, okay. Let's keep these guys at it. But Anthony Volpe, same thing. He drives in his runs here and there over the last couple seasons. Since he's come into the league, he's not bad at driving in runs, but low batting average. These are those Yankees prospects that they tout. And they come and they play, and they can barely hit. And we're supposed to be like, yes, the Yankees. Wow, they have a great farm system. I don't know. Forgive me, I'm just saying. Tigers and Cleveland. Their all-time record, and I thought I had brought this up a couple videos ago, is the all-time record. They were just tied at 1,163 wins apiece as of 2 days ago. Yesterday, the Tigers beat Cleveland, and now they've moved into a record of all time against the Cleveland Guardians, Indians' own franchise, at 1,164 wins and 1,163 losses. This is probably the oldest matchup in the history of baseball, right? Something like that. And right now, the main point of these two teams, minus the all-time record, is that they are both tied at the top of the American League Central Division. And with the next 3 games to go in the season for each team, Detroit is playing in Boston for the next 3 games, and Cleveland is playing at home against Texas. This season, Detroit is 3-0 versus. They're 3-0 against Boston this season. Detroit is, and that was in Comerica Park. And Cleveland this season is 0-3 versus Texas, and that was. Yeah, that was had to be in Texas. So regardless of where this and the other thing, 3-0 versus Boston, Detroit was or is, and 0-3 versus Texas, that's Cleveland. And those are the next 2 matchups for each team. So baseball, I always got to be happy when there's division races like this that go down to the very wire. So that's something we're going to be obviously focusing on. That's pretty cool. So how does that play out? So let's keep our eye on that. So tough matchups. Pirates and the Braves. The only thing I gotta say is that tonight's games, the tickets are as low as $9. Pirates at Braves, the tickets go for as low as $9. I think there's one other game that's tickets are as low as $8. That's going on tonight, but I forget which one that was. So I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could say more about that. I mean, the Braves are trying to make a lot. Not even trying to. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball, but a little too late. So, that was a team, let's see where they wind up. Let's see what they decide to do. And Pirates, like I said yesterday or the day before, come on, wake up, figure it out, do something, because you can't be doing this. You can't. You gotta, all that history, the proud Pirates franchise. Spend a little money, or have a plan, because and if you're the deadline comes, make some trades and let these guys, these veterans, go to other teams, which you could have done, but Ben Sherrington said we didn't have to trade them, which he's right. Technically, we didn't want to trade them. Tommy Pham in particular. Really? And we're going to move on to the Mariners and the Rockies. Yesterday, the Mariners beat the Rockies 6-2. No home run was hit by Cal Riley. He's still at 60. Not still at 60. He just arrived at 60, but no home run was hit there. I guess they must have heard me say he's serving up home run balls. But I will say, Eugenio, I can never say this word, Eugenio Suarez hit number 49 on the season. This guy is, I guess you could say, a perennial home run hitter, or he is one of the better home run hitters in our era. But in the era that I was growing up in, at least when I was a kid and really started to love baseball, was these guys would hit 45, but they would also hit 290. I mean, steroids, no steroids. Even the guys that didn't, I mean, not everybody that took steroids. I mean, I don't know what the numbers said or what the books or the facts or the documents said. But baseball was great. It was so great. And guys used to hit for average and power. Good luck finding anybody who hits for average and power. That's why you see Judge like, oh my God, the greatest player ever. Don't get me wrong. I will not dispute where he's going to end up. And we'll get to why he's doing it, but at another time. But there were so many more Aaron Judge types. Let me backtrack. There weren't 60 home runs or 50 home runs 4 times, this and that and the other thing. He is standing out above his peers and standing out in the history of baseball. Not even due to his sheer size, but because of the stats he's putting up. And it's amazing considering what he's doing compared to a lot of other guys are doing. And he really is in a small bracket of success, or as far as what he's achieved in comparison to the other people who are playing the game right now. But there were so many. Just go back and look at the stats from 1996 to the 2006 seasons. Go from those, the 10-year stretch from 96 to 2006. I don't know. I mean, yeah, was that the steroid era, the beginning and the end of the steroid era? Who knows? But I'm just saying, you still got to. Home runs is one thing, but batting average is another, right? Do steroids help batting average? I'm sure. It's getting dark. I should put the light on. But I'm going to get through this. We're going to get through this. But Suarez, number 49, RBI number 117. His batting average is 202. His slugging percentage is 457. Could you imagine if his batting average was at least 230? At least 230. 250. That slugging would be in the 5. He'll have 100 points more. He'd probably be slugging. Or maybe, I don't know, statistically. Where are my math majors? Where are my stat majors? But just increase that batting average just a little bit. But 457, that means he's had a ton of at-bats. Or there's other factors too. But I'm just shouting out Suarez because can he hit? And I'd say he's going to hit number 50, right? So put a home run bet on Suarez. Put a home run bet on Kurtz. Just go with it, guys. All right, so Royals and Angels, I'm highlighting this because the Royals right now are 80-79 on the season. They are 6-4 in their last 10. And the reason why I'm highlighting this also is because if they win and they solidify a winning season, which they have more wins than losses, and they solidify that, lock that in, it would be the first time they had 3 straight seasons three straight winning seasons since 2013 to 2015. And those seasons, they made the World Series back-to-back times. 2014, they played the Giants. 2015, they played the Mets. And they were World Series winners in those teams. Those teams won more games per season than this team. But I'm just saying, if you're a Royals fan, you're like, okay, we're winning. We're more competitive. But they just got to start getting over the hump just a little bit more. And they're going to have to get more contributions throughout their lineup because there's a low bat, and they're kind of maybe like a low batting average team. And besides Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez doesn't have quite a high batting average, but Bobby Witt's the main dude. Perez is the vet that still drives in runs, but they're gonna have to fill it out other ways because excuse me, and not my boy, and maybe he's getting my boy, I don't know, but Vinny Pasquantino is a legitimate run producer. So I mean, yes, they have their guys, they have some guys. But if they can add to that core, they should be okay. Because, pitching they're really good at. Bullpen, they've been pretty good at. They can figure that out. But they need to hit more. So they play their next 3 games in Sacramento. So I would like to put some home run. I would put some home run bets there. I mean, don't listen to me with the home runs. I mean, I gave a few the other day. It didn't work out. But hey, you can listen to me. You can. Whatever you decide to do. I'm just giving out the Royals shout out because if they can solidify a winning season this year, that would be 3 straight. Last time I did that was 2013 and 15. All right, now we're going to move on to the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. I think this is my last game that I want to cover. Blue Jays 6, Red Sox 1. There's a lot of stats for this one. The very bottom here. My point here is, well, before anything, the Yankees and the Red Sox right now, the Yankees and the Blue Jays right now are both tied for the AL East Division lead. So it's down to the last 3. Again, baseball has to be loving this, right? You got to be loving it. So I want to highlight that Dalton Varsho hit his 20th home run of the season last night, and it was a grand slam at that. And I just want to say, this is quietly his 3rd season of 20-plus homers, right? But you know what the craziest part is? He's only played in 68 games this year. 68. He has a .559 slugging percentage. If he qualified, that 559 slugging percentage does not qualify amongst the league leaders because he hasn't played enough games to qualify. But if it did qualify, that would be top 5. But who did qualify is his teammate George Springer, who is tied with Byron Buxton. They each have a .551 slugging percentage. So, I mean, who's to say that Varsho would actually have a same slugging percentage or a higher slugging percentage if he played more games? Because more games can mean more opportunities to fail, or it could be more opportunities to succeed. But maybe over time it might not be .559. But what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, it's .559. 68 games played. He has 20 home runs in 68 games played. What the kicker here is that he had 18 home runs last season in 136 games. So is that half the amount of games played? 68 times 2, is that 136? So in half the amount of games played, he had 2 less homers last season. He has 20 this year and 68. In 2023, he had 20 home runs in 158 games, so the same amount of home runs. And come on, where are my math people? 40 would make it 150. That's 90 games. So in 90 more games, he had the same amount of home runs in 2023. So 18 last year, 22 years ago, 27 home runs in 3 seasons ago, and in 2022, and he played in 151 games. So he's played in a good amount of games, but this home run rate he's on this year, wow, it's amazing. So I just want to shout that out. It bugged me out when I saw 68 games. 68 games. I know he's been out, but damn. And mind you, this guy, I remember we had him on our fantasy team, and I couldn't get over it. My buddy James and I, we had him. We shared the team, and we dropped Dalton Varsho super early. Remember, guys, baseball, hold on to you guys. It's a long season. Let her ride it out. Let him play. Man, it's getting dark. Ride it out. Let him play. And we dumped him, and he wound up hitting 27 that year, and I would always check his box score, and I'm like, damn it, as much as I didn't want him to succeed, I did want him to succeed, but whatever. I'm just like I would never want somebody to get hurt, never. And I don't want somebody to have bad seasons. I love when these guys have great seasons, because why do you want people to fail? You want people to do well. But I was like, damn it, we let him go, and he just kept hitting. But anyway, that was then. That's when he was a catcher with Arizona, or at least catcher outfield designation he had. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the catcher outfield designation this time around in baseball. They probably dropped that label last year. I'm not sure if it's positional eligibility. This is fantasy baseball I'm talking about. 20 home runs in 68 games. That's amazing. And the point is, also what I said was the Blue Jays and the Yankees are tied atop the division. And the next 2 opponents, naturally, I want to talk about the next 2 opponents for both teams. New York is hosting the Orioles. So the Yankees are finishing their season at home against the Orioles. And they're 6-4 against Baltimore this season. The Yankees have not really had a hard time against Baltimore, right? Does it feel like that the last couple of years? I'm pretty sure. So 6-4 against them. I mean, Orioles, they're going to be feeling good about themselves. They want to spoil the Yankees' chances. Do they do it? Can they do it? Let's see. I kind of haven't tuned into a full Yankee game for a while. Maybe I'll check in a little bit more tonight, or I'll definitely be keeping that box score. But 6-4 against Baltimore. They got them coming in to the Bronx tonight. Toronto is also hosting a team, and they're hosting Tampa Bay. So the AL East is going to be battling it out today, and it's at least today until the weekend. And they are 3-7 versus Tampa. If I'm not mistaken, that is always an interesting matchup. Toronto and Tampa Bay. I always like those two teams going against each other. So Toronto is 3-7 against Tampa Bay. So that is not going to be an easy task. They have a losing record against them, clearly as you can see. So who will come out the winner of the AL East? Again, baseball gotta be loving these down to the wire divisional deciding matchups and these games and these series that come down to the very wire, down to the wire. So that's what I'm gonna say. Those are my rundown. This is part 2 of yesterday's games, yesterday's happenings from 9/25/2025. Today is Friday, 9/26/2025. So thanks for listening. It's getting dark in here. I'm gonna tune out. All right, I'm your host. This is the YouTube Sports Network. And until next time, take it easy.